Hey everyone, gonna do this real quickly as best I can. Got an opportunity again. If you know my living situations and all that, you kind of understand, what I mean by opportunities, especially on a Saturday. I also want to apologize if you hear any, vibrational noises. Again, as I've mentioned before, because I'm recording on my phone, those are like text messages and all that, notifications, and then a big boom one that's from my bank saying something was declined and all that. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and talk about page 57, if you will, page 57 of, Sabrina Online's Stripes and Links. And it looks like we are going to be heading back towards Zig Zag in the next few pages, maybe. But basically, long story short, essentially, let me see if I can bring it up while I'm still recording here. Hold on. But essentially, what's going on is that pretty much things are wrapping up, if you will. Warren kind of apologizes and everything for, essentially not, not kind of realizing that Endora has needs, if you will, or Endora, needs, opportunity to just, be a little frisky at times, if you know what I mean. So basically, he's apologetic, about the whole situation. It's like he's realizing, this is his wife, and he needed to pay more attention to her, kind of look at her in a way that even other women, like Zig Zag, look at her and everything. And, I think it was pretty cool. I think it was pretty nice that, they did that. But what makes this page, and I think this end of the Sabrina, or at least one of the Sabrina portions of the story, what makes it funny, especially towards the end and all that, is as I bring it up because I want to make sure I get some notes here and everything. I want to make sure I get everything right. Basically Sabrina, tells her mom that Zig Zag is on a trip right now. Basically, she doesn't say what she's doing, on that trip, but she says she's on a trip right now. But once she gets back, she's sure she'll be sure, that being Sabrina, to let Zig Zag know that that Endora is willing to talk, and that she should apologize, profusely. Basically, tell her outright, look, I'm sorry, I let loose there. I'm sorry, I lost control, stuff like that. Basically ask for that forgiveness. But then here's where Warren comes in. Here's where Warren comes in, if you will. Warren comes in. He says, I think I owe you an apology too. I've been taking you for granted lately, and I didn't, realize that, that until it was spelled out for me, or didn't realize that until it was spelled out for him. In other words, he's basically saying that, to Endora, when Sabrina says that, hey, Zig Zag probably will be willing to apologize for her actions, that Warren basically takes the opportunity to apologize as well, because he's realizing until this discussion came about, that he had been taking his wife for granted, not realizing, again, that she has needs. She has needs that need to be attended to and all that. So basically he starts kind of sweet talking, putting the moves on a little bit, being flirtatious with her, if you will, that being Warren to Endora. And he basically tells her that, she should know that he's never stopped seeing her as a beautiful and very sexy, and basically he's telling her that he's apologizing, kind of flirting a little bit. Basically he's telling her that she should know that he's never stopped seeing her as beautiful and very sexy, even if he didn't tell her as often as he should. And it's kind of, I guess, turns Endora on a little bit, and because, he's starting to, like I said, get, a little flirtatious, and I wouldn't say too frisky, if you will, because he's telling her, if you allow it, I'll gladly show you how much in love, he basically says, because again, he's kind of getting a little flirtatious, getting kind of putting the moves on, if you will. He's telling her that, he's continuing to apologize, that if she allows him to, he'll gladly show her how much in love with her he still is. And, Endora's reaction is, kind of, starting to set that mood into motion, if you will. And the reaction, though, by Tabitha in the background, because Tabitha is on the beanbag chair, right? And remember what she said in that last panel. She doesn't like, her thought process was, I don't like where this is going. She's hearing this and she's like, I don't like where this is going, right? So all of a sudden here in this, and it's not the last panel, but she is part of the last panel. I'll get to that in a moment. But the moment she's hearing this, all of a sudden, she just perks up like, excuse me, what am I hearing here? What's going on? It basically gets her attention to like, oh no, please don't tell me. That's Tabitha, that being Sabrina's sister. And Sabrina's got this look too, like, okay, this is getting a little awkward. And basically, they're starting to, you kind of see that they're starting to, get the moves on with each other, at least Warren with Endora. And he's like, suggesting that, maybe to start out, they can go out for a quick coffee, come back, finish that cheesecake, and see where the evening takes us from then. And then you see Sabrina's reaction. Sabrina's reaction is like, well, I probably should be heading out. I'll talk to you later, okay? And basically the parents are just ignoring her because they're getting into the friskiness and all that. And all of a sudden, you see it in the last panel. You see it in the last panel, Tabitha running up behind her sister like, take me with you, please. And then Sabrina looked back at her and was like, yeah, hurry. So basically Sabrina's like, yeah, get what you need, get some clothes, whatever. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Because I think Eric put it in the description like, yeah, no child, no matter what their age is, whether they're in their 20s, their 30s, early to mid-teens, no child, wants to hear or even visually, think of upon hearing the parents getting it on. They don't. They don't. And I like some of the comments people are putting out there by saying, hey, it looks like maybe, Tabitha and Sabrina are going to get a younger sibling and everything. And that would be kind of awkward because, Tabitha is, Daniela, that being Sabrina's daughter. Tabitha is her aunt. So basically, if that was to happen as a result, then the newest child, the newborn, would be the uncle or aunt to Daniela. It'd be kind of weird, if you will. Not unusual, even in real life, but it'd be kind of weird. But I just love the hilarious way they end this act with this portion with Sabrina and her family. I kind of like it and everything. And this does kind of lead me to believe that maybe, Eric W. Schwartz might be doing a Fur After Dark spinoff or tie-in book with Warren and Endora, but we'll see. Again, I still think it might be Endora and Zig Zag to get one, just so she can get it out of her system when it comes to Zig Zag and all that. Because it is pretty much established, if you will, that Endora is going to be okay if Zig Zag wants to kind of kiss her and all that. She'll be okay with that. But they're going to do it in an understandable way, like, hey, don't take it too far. Just do it like, when the moment's right, and, let's see what happens. Kind of. I think that's basically what we're getting with her. It's like she's still going to be straight, straight as straight can be, but she's also going to be willing to dip her toes in the bisexual direction, if you will, with characters like Zig Zag. But yeah, it's a great, hilarious way here to end this, this part of the story. And again, I think it might tie into a Fur After Dark story they do with, Warren and Endora, or maybe we'll still get Endora and Zig Zag, or we might just get Zig Zag and Tina Lynx, that is, doing their thing, in hotel rooms while they're on the road. But so far, I'm liking the story. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting a kick out of it, especially the reactions of the kids and all that. Especially, Tabitha and Sabrina here at the end. I just love it and everything. So it's really, really good. Just really good. And I can't say, any more than than that. Outside of you know, outside of what we can only speculate will come up next when it comes to Zig Zag and her family, because I think that's what we're heading towards next. Or if they want to wrap up the portion here with Sabrina and her fam, I can see Sabrina showing back home with, showing back home, coming back home. Richard or see her husband opening the door, seeing Sabrina there, but then seeing Tabitha and wondering why is your sister here, and you could just see the look on. You could probably just see a look, maybe if they go that route with the next page, where Sabrina just like looks at her husband and be like, "You don't want to know," and he can be like, or she'll whisper exactly what was about to happen, and you could probably see the reaction on his face, being like, "Ooh, that's understandable," But we'll see. We might even continue on, like I said, might go back to and continue the story with Zig Zag and Tina, but we'll see. Although, like I said, so far I'm liking what's been going on here. I've been enjoying it for the past, year and a half now. Past year, a little over a year now. It's 57 weeks this has been going on, 58 if you will. But I've been really enjoying it, and I can't wait to see what he's got planned going forward. Like I said, I still believe there's a Fur After Dark tie-in somewhere. I don't know when or where and who's going to involve, but I feel when it's coming. And I do believe Endora is going to kiss Zig Zag on the lips at the end, not only as a way to show she accepts Zig Zag's apology and basically to also show they have an agreement, but to kind of give her a taste of her own medicine, kind of get back at her for what she did in the bar and everything. But again, liking what I'm seeing here and can't wait to see what he's got planned next. But that's all I can say, guys, on this review of the 57th page chapter of Stripes and Links. It looks like we're closing out this portion of it involving Sabrina and her family. And it looks like Zig Zag and Tina are next on the docket, to be continued, to continue the story on with. But let me know what your thoughts are on it so far. And until then, I'll talk to y'all later.